right lane, or the left lane. And so we survived though. It was really scary. And then our GPS was trying to take us on toll roads, and then it was trying to take us all sorts of ways. And so we did all sorts of weird.
We left at like 2:15 in the morning.
And we got pulled over 2 times because our taillight was out. So we got pulled over twice within like 10 minutes of each other. Luckily, both the cops were really nice. They were very chatty. So then we thought we were going to get here at like 6 a.m. and have to go find
like
a place
7,
to sleep.
Like 7:30.
Or 7. We ended up getting here at 9:30.
Yeah.
So, just in time. So we're pretty excited because we've never been to this Six Flags before.
We basically drove right through New York almost.
Yeah, we drove
But
right.
It was more like Brooklyn, I guess.
It was really
Or whatever
scary.
is The Bronx.
Yeah. And so now we're
It was
trying out
some fun driving.
this Six Flags. I hated navigating. That was scary too.
The whole thing's-
So I don't know how many times we're gonna make it to this Six Flags, considering
It's not too super crowded yet.
I think a lot of kids are still in school right now,
Which is perfect time
which
for
is
us.
what we're hoping for.
And it's a Thursday.
So we're excited to try out this Six Flags since we've never been to this one before, and I don't know if we'll ever come back to this one, considering how crazy it is to drive here. From
If you drive from the East Coast,
from the East
maybe
Coast.
it's not as bad from this.
It was bad from the way we took. So, alright, here we go. We'll keep you posted on what we think of the rides at this one. There's the super going behind us.
What'd you say?
The Golden Kingdom. Oliver Island. There he is. He's over there. Hi everyone.
Hey guys, we are going to tell you guys about our trip to Six Flags Great Adventure in Jackson, New Jersey. We started off in Newport after seeing my sister, and we had a few days in Newport, which was pretty fun. And we just since it was from Newport to Jackson is about 6 hours or 5 to 6 hours, but you go almost right through New York City, which is obviously going to have a lot of traffic, and so we decided to get there when the park opened at like 10. We decided to try to leave pretty early so that we would maybe avoid some of the traffic. And so in New York City, so we checked out at 2 in the morning because I'm crazy. We drove out of town and we got pulled over for
Taillight was out.
having a taillight out, and then so we talked to the cop, and luckily it was very nice. And then
About 10 minutes later, we got
10
pulled
minutes
over.
later, once we got to the interstate, we got pulled over again, and luckily that cop was nice, and he was a state trooper.
But it's a rental car, so we have to go find a place now to fix it. But they didn't give us a ticket for it because it's not our car.
We were trying to find, since we're in a rental car, we're trying to find a way with no tolls to get to the park. And New York has lots of tolls, and so yeah, we ended up.
Our phone
actually
said
did
there were
end up-
no tolls.
We did end up avoiding tolls, but we had to I don't know, it was still very chaotic, and
We almost got in a wreck.
it was really scary driving in New York, especially with the GPS and the road signs not being super clear.
Well, because
And
it
so-
said there were no tolls, and then all of a sudden it was taking us on toll roads, so we were trying to change directions the last minute, and it was nuts. So.
Yeah, it was very chaotic, but we left at 2. We were supposed to get there at 7:30 or something, or 8, and with us getting pulled over and getting
Crazy New Jersey
crazy
traffic.
directions
New York
and traffic and all this stuff, we ended up getting to the park right at 9:30, and it opened at 10, so it ended up being pretty perfect timing. So we got to the park, and when we first got there, it was pretty empty, so we were excited to see that.
We got to do
And,
several rides.
This
multiple
park
times.
is in Jackson, New Jersey, and we have season passes from 2 years ago when we bought them, from before COVID. for season passes to Six Flags, and so we went to Six Flags Great Adventure in Jackson, New Jersey, which is probably about an hour. It's like really close to Trenton, New Jersey, which obviously is the capital of New Jersey, if you were not aware of that. Yeah, we got there. The park was, and it has a safari at this park, which is really cool.
We
With
didn't do it.
with lots of animals that you can see. We didn't have time to do that.
But there's
'Cause-
animals inside.
Yeah,
too.
so they also have animals inside
We
the
saw a mini
park as
sea
well.
lion training show.
So to start off, we get there and we get into the park, and they have this ride that is very similar to the Top Thrill Dragster.
Which
What's
is
it
right
called?
behind us.
Yeah.
Over there.
Which takes you from 0 to like 120 miles an hour, and like the whole ride lasts like 6 seconds or something. So really short distance. So we get to that ride, and it's closed right when the park opens, and there's these signs about how you can't have anything.
on
So
the
you
ride.
have to pay $2, or no, it was $8 for a locker, or $1 for every
$8 for the
ride.
day or $1 for a ride, yeah.
So
You couldn't have keys or anything on it, and so
yeah, they were telling us you couldn't have anything, even your drink cups to Six Flags. We didn't know you could or could not have them, but we were under the impression you couldn't have them, but you can have them. So we get to the ride, and we
we
get all
Googled
this.
it, and this was a couple of the big rides wouldn't let you have anything on them, so we made James go for a run.
Yeah, so I get into the park. It probably took us about 10 minutes to get to this ride, and then I like ran back and got back to Cape.
He had to
in
drop
about
off my fanny pack.
15 minutes.
He dropped off my fanny pack and our phones and everything. So we spent the whole day with no phones, so there are no videos of rides or pictures of rides or anything like that because we didn't have our stuff on us because we didn't want to pay $1 for every locker. And so,
Yeah, so I ran to the car and ran back and ran back. So went to the car, back into the entrance, and yeah. So anyways, I was kind of sweaty afterwards, and I got back before the ride opened, and so we were actually able to do the ride like 4 times. We should have kept doing it because
yeah,
it was
there was no. Everyone was
pretty
scared
cool.
to do it there. They're all like intimidated by that ride. So
their park is pretty jungle themed, or that safari themed, which is kind of cool. Kind of like that, I guess.
that was a cool difference, which we'll highlight when you guys see our Cedar Point videos. You can see the difference and how well you can't see it. The dragster is laid out as like a racetrack, whereas this one is like in the jungle because it's Kingda Ka, and it has like a tiger in the jungle, and so
There's
that
lots
was
of
pretty
things.
cool.
Yeah, so we do that ride like 2 times. They shut it down again, and for like 2 seconds, I don't know really why.
They just
And then
shut it down all
we
the time.
did like a free fall, like it's kind of like the Superman at
It's
Six Flags over
connected
Texas.
to the Kingda Ka though, so you're like in the other roller coaster ride. So that
And
was
it
pretty
seemed
crazy.
like way taller than the Superman, so it was like very tall, and then
I'm
it
more
just drops
scared of
one
that
time.
ride than I am of any roller coaster. I'll go on any roller coaster. I don't care how tall it is, but I do not like the free fall ones. There's a ton of gnats around.
Mosquitoes, not gnats.
Mosquitoes and gnats. I don't know.
So we ended up doing the Kingda. What is it called?
Kingda Ka?
We did that one
4 times?
4 times yesterday. 3 times in the front, and then 1 time in the back. And we liked it in the front a lot better. And we should have kept doing it, but we were like afraid that the park was gonna get more full towards the.
That was yesterday?
That was just yesterday. So we were afraid the park was going to get more full, and so we like decided to do some other rides. But then we kind of regretted not doing that ride more because,
Especially because Cedar Point is crazy packed.
yeah, Cedar Point's really packed right now. And the ride is basically the same as the Top Thrill Dragster. So we got lucky yesterday when it was not super crowded. But we did that ride 4 times, and then we
Toro.
got to go watch some seals do some, or sea lions do some tricks for a little bit, which is pretty cool. They also had some giant tortoises
Cheetah.
and some cheetahs that were
And
sleeping.
a certain type of monkey.
Yeah, some sort of monkey, we don't really remember. And then we did this ride called El Toro, which is a wooden roller coaster similar to the Texas Giant. It had like probably 3 like really big drops, which are really cool.
It was fun. That was
And it
like my
was,
second favorite ride next to the Kingda Ka.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. And then after we did that ride, we went over to do the Superman ride, which was you're laying
lay
down on
down.
your stomach, and you couldn't really see like what was coming at you, so it was like
You're
you
just,
couldn't lift
like,
up your neck
floating.
really.
Yeah.
If you lifted up your neck to see, it like kind of hurt your neck.
The only thing I didn't like about that is like whenever you're waiting for your turn to unload, like we had to like lay there while waiting for the other car to load, and so you're just like laying there on the platform, and then we get up to the main platform and we're ready to get off, and they still made us lay there for another minute or two. So then by then, like, the blood was all rushing to my forehead, and I was ready to sit up. But it was still fun.
Yeah.
It was good.
And then we did the Green Lantern ride afterwards,
And it's
which
a stand-up ride like they have here at Cedar Point.
kind of hurts your
It hurts.
lower region a little bit.
You like stand on this like chair thing, and then you have to push your feet down so that you're standing, and it like raises and
Feels like you're
lowers
riding a
based on
horse.
the height of everyone.
It's kind of like you're riding a horse, but it's kind of.
But you have to make sure you're in like the upright standing position, and so, but that one like rattled my head a whole bunch, and I couldn't figure out how to keep my head from hitting the sides, and so they recommend you take off your earrings.
Both
for
the
that.
Superman and the Green Lantern ride were like a little bit longer than I expected, so they were kind of cool because they like were more distance than I thought they were going to be, so that was pretty cool. They have a ride similar to that Superman ride, like in Atlanta, I believe. We haven't done it for a little while, but it's very similar to that. And then the one that we did, that was the Green Lantern, is similar to like a ride
Here at Cedar Point.
at Cedar Point. Kind of like the Wolverine, but more like this other ride that's kind of like an older one. So, but it was still pretty cool. Then we went and ate lunch at this like taco place.
Macho nachos.
We usually go to this place at like Six Flags over St. Louis, and also in Atlanta when we've gone there, it's been like really good. But this one was not so good. They didn't give you any lettuce on your like taco salad type thing. So we just got like nacho cheese and
tortilla chips.
some salsa, and they didn't even have shredded cheese, so just liquid cheese or the
They
cheese
were
that you get.
delicious chips and cheese for $13, but luckily we had a meal pass, so we didn't have to pay for
Yeah,
it. I wouldn't pay the $13 for those.
Definitely wasn't the most amazing. And then we
got to ride El Toro again.
Yeah, we rode El Toro again, and then it was basically time for us to go because the park was only open until 6, and we had to leave by 4 to get to Cedar Point today.
Well, we
at a
were
decent
trying
time.
to get to the gas, and then the gas wasn't open.
Yeah, we were trying to get to this gas station before 11 o'clock, and we beat that time.
So apparently
But it
they closed the
actually-
gas station early.
But it actually closed at 10, so that was my bad on my part, I guess, for not researching enough. So.
But yeah, so we don't have pictures or footage of the, well, I have a little bit of footage of the park that I'll show you guys, but since we decided to go free without phones all day.
On the way out, we were gonna get our dessert, which was, we wanted to get like, you know, like the ice
Really
cream,
good ice cream.
like cookies and cream or cookie, or cookie
But we
dough or
couldn't
something
find the
like
place.
that. So we looked everywhere for this place.
Not
and
everywhere.
Then, well, we looked everywhere that we could see. We walked around quite a bit of the park, not all of the park, but
And we settled for Johnny Rockets.
we got like a small vanilla, or we got like a vanilla shake with, which is okay, I guess, but
then we were walking away with it and we saw the ice cream
right
shop.
when we were leaving, like literally we like went to the exit almost, but we apparently didn't go far enough, and that's where the shop was at. So we thought maybe they closed it because of COVID or something, but apparently we just didn't search
see it.
well enough.
So that's definitely a Six Flags. That's one of my top Six Flags, probably.
We didn't get to ride every single ride because of the time and because it wasn't open very late. And so there was still like this cool like Batman ride and there was like 2 other rides in the
That we
distance
hadn't
that we
gotten to.
didn't get to do. But we were kind of lucky because at the beginning of the day it was like pretty, it wasn't very crowded, and there weren't like a ton of school groups or anything. And so we got to do quite a few rides, quite a few of the same rides, but we still got to do more than we get to do sometimes. And so that was good, and we definitely would recommend going there, but it's definitely kind of crazy with the traffic. So.
But it's really cool.
So if you're going there, try not to go through New York City.
It's one of our favorite Six Flags so far. So don't go through New York to get
hopefully next time we get to go from my sister's house from Pennsylvania there, maybe it would be quite so crazy.
not such a bad route.
Yeah.
So definitely check it out. Look up some videos of the rides since we weren't able to videotape them for you guys.
And then,
Sorry.
After the park, we drove and about 6 hours to Morgantown, and we went this very scenic way, which is pretty cool. And we got to go across this crazy bridge and got to see lots of gorgeous scenery, I guess, and kind of went off the beaten path. So that was way better than driving through the New York and New Jersey traffic in New York City. So I would definitely prefer that, even though we went in all these like crazy roads, like, oh, we're turning down this county road right now. Like, what? Why does your GPS know how to do that? So we didn't get lost, and we went down this crazy bridge where you could only have like one car go on the bridge at a time. And so
we'll show some video of
that was there was 2 cars coming at me, and it says you can have 2-lane traffic, but it's very narrow. And I decided just to kind of
wait.
So yeah.
And luckily the car at the other end waited for us too. So.
But we didn't get a chance to do any hiking or anything during that time, or play disc golf or anything like that, because we were kind of in a rush. But it was cool just to see some of the scenery along the way, and hopefully we can maybe someday check some of those areas out. Who knows?
So that's our experience in New Jersey, and actually that's the most time I've ever spent in New Jersey, thanks to Six Flags. So gotta cross that state off and get a picture and put that one on my board. So hope you guys make it out to Six Flags Great Adventures in
don't go to New York.
New Jersey. Yeah, don't go to New York.
And
drive safe.
make sure you bring, if you do have a Six Flags cup, you can bring it on all
Yes,
the rides.
you can take it on the rides. There are cup holders. They just want to
But
tell you that.
be prepared to pay for a locker if you have anything else, basically, because I had to put my keys in my sock the whole day, and in my
really
shoes the whole
comfortable to
day,
walk in.
and it was not very comfortable. So, yeah.
Check it out. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Check out our next adventure. See ya.